Okay, we're back at Teacher K French. Please like, share, and subscribe. And those who have done so already, thank you very much. All right, we left off with our greatest common factor, our GCF, and our LCM, our greatest common multiple. And I left you with 14 and 30. All right, so if we did 14 by primes, 14 divided by 2 is 7. So 14 equals 2 times 7. 30 is an even number, so we'll start with 2. That gives us 15. And we'll go 3 and 5. So 30 equals 2 times 3 times 5. So if you have that so far, you've done an excellent job, and I'm sure you have. Our least common factor, we have a 2 and a 2, though they're the same. All right, so our greatest common factor is 2. Now our greatest common multiple, we have a 2, a 3, a 5, and a 7. So we got to multiply them all together. So 2 times 3 times 5 times 7 is going to give us 6 times 5 is 30. 30 times 7, so 30 times 7, I can do a 0, 21, 210. So your least common multiple is 210. And again, this is helpful so we don't have to write out 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. We'd have to be writing out all those multiples all the way to 210 until we got something that was common. So this is another reason why division by prime is so great to know, because it's such a great shortcut. Today we're going to get into temperature. Yes, temperature. We're going to use a thermometer, which I have a picture right here, a thermometer to measure how hot or how cold something is. And when we have a thermometer, if you can see, you have a Fahrenheit and Celsius. Fahrenheit is English measurement. Celsius is metric measurement. Today, we're going to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we're going to write Celsius to Fahrenheit. But before we start doing that, we're going to go over some important measurements or temperatures that we need to be aware of. One of those is the freezing point. All right, so the freezing point. This will be important in math to learn, facts to remember. Our freezing point in Fahrenheit is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0 degrees Celsius. We use this little circle up here to stand for degrees. That is the symbol for degrees. You have a boiling point. You will also learn the freezing point and boiling point in science class. Science and mathematics go hand in hand together. You have a boiling point, and in Fahrenheit, that's 212 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Celsius. Now, we also have a body temperature. Have you ever had your temperature checked to see if you have a fever? Okay, so your body temperature in Fahrenheit should be 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the measurement that God made our body to be. Our temperature is right at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the same as 37 degrees Celsius. Now these measurements again are very important to study and to learn and to memorize. Again, they'll go hand in hand with science and mathematics. You have a freezing point, so if you have water and you put it in the freezer, it'll turn to ice at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. You put water on the stove to boil your macaroni and cheese. The water has to reach 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. When your body is acting just as it should and it's perfectly healthy and all the good stuff, you have your body temperature regulates at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Now, I said we're going to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. All right, here is where formulas come into play. We must practice formulas. We must practice using our formulas. So we have a Celsius temperature. So we're going Celsius, I'm going to put a C, to Fahrenheit. I'm going to put an F, all right? So we'll have the Celsius temperature, but we're going to change it to Fahrenheit. So we're going to start with learning the formula. Fahrenheit equals 9 fifth C plus 32. All right, you must learn this formula. This formula is very helpful. If we have a Celsius degrees and we're going to Fahrenheit, then we want to find Fahrenheit equals 9/5 of Celsius plus 32. So if I give you the measurements, say something is 100 degrees Celsius. Oops. Now, 100 degrees Celsius, you're thinking, we just learned that measurement. It is the boiling point. You're right. I just wanted to see if you would catch it out. So I should know that that's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I should know that. But if I didn't know that and I had 100 degrees Celsius, then I would take this value and put it right here. So I would have 9/5 100 plus 32. I have to do my fraction part first. This is put that over 1. I can reduce 5 and 20, or 5 and 100. 5 goes into 100 20 times. So now I do 9 times 20, excuse me. So 20 times 9 is going to give me 180. But I cannot stop there. I have to add my 32. And 2 is there. 11, I would have 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, again, that one we should have known because it's a math fact. Math is one that doesn't change. It's a boiling point. But now I'm going to give you one. Let's say I give you, let's say, 15 degrees Celsius. So 15 degrees Celsius equals blank degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so this value is this right here. All right, so we have F equals 9/5 times 15 plus 32. All right, so do this part first. Make this an improper fraction. I can cancel the 5 and the 15. The 5 by 1, the 15 by 3. 9 times 3 is 27. Don't stop there. Add the 32. All right, so 7 plus 2 is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. It would be 59 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, I'm going to put a few more up here, and let's see how we do. What if I put 25 degrees Celsius equals blank degrees Fahrenheit? All right, so I'm going to use my formula here. 9/5, 25 over 1 plus 32. Now, I can do this multiplication first. Again, I can use cancellation. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Now I have to do 9 times 5, 45. So is this answer 45? No, why isn't it not? Oh, I'm not done with the problem. Must complete the whole thing. So 45 plus 32. If I want to put the 32, 5 plus 2 is 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. I would get 77 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to do 2 more for you. I'm going to do 1 for you, and I'm going to leave you 1 to work on. What if I left you with 50 degrees Celsius? Okay, and I want to turn that into degrees Fahrenheit. So I have the Celsius degrees, so that goes there. 9/5. My value for cell C is 50. All right, plus 32. Write the formula out, plug in the values, then solve. All right, one nice thing about using a whiteboard is once you have the formula already written out, I don't have to write it out every problem, but if you're doing it on paper, you need to write the formula out every single time. Then you plug in the values every single time, and then you can solve. All right, so Fahrenheit equals, cancel the 5 to a 1, the 50 to a 10. 9 times 10 is 90, plus my 32. Do not forget the end. 0 plus 2, 9 plus 3. 9 plus 3 is 12. 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm going to leave you with one more. Actually, I'm going to show you something else. If we sometimes, say I had 12 degrees Celsius, and I wanted to put that to Fahrenheit. All right, well, we're going to do it the same way. Fahrenheit equals 9/5, value of 12 plus 32. Now, the thing is, 5 and 12 don't have any common factors. They won't cancel anything out. So I have to come up with the closest degree. All right, so I still have to do this part first. So now I'm going to have to do 12 times 9. That's going to give you 108. Now I'm going to have to take 108 and divide it by 5. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 5 will go into 8 1 time. Then I get 5. Then I could put a decimal. We'll get to those, learning that later. But I get 21.6. And if I wanted to round that to the nearest number, that would be 22. Then plus my 32. I still can't forget the end. That'd be 4. So that is 54 degrees Fahrenheit. But I'm going to leave you one that's even, that will cancel out with the 5. It will end in 5 or a 0, so I'll leave you with that. I'm going to give you Celsius is 35 degrees Celsius, and I want you to tell me that in Fahrenheit. Remember the formula? Fahrenheit equals 9/5 C plus 32. Remember the freezing points. Remember the boiling points. And remember body temperature. All right, we'll review these again in the next lesson. Freezing point, boiling point, body temperature. See if you can remember those for me for the next lesson. Catch you later.